You know better. You know better.
I still gotta get an intro.
You know I gotta put my lip on, honey.
Okay, go ahead. What up, y'all? So we are here for Beyond the Gates. This is episodes 53 through 57. And before we even get into it, I'm gonna let Really be started up with Monday and Tuesday. And there'll be some things that I can talk about in Monday and Tuesday that aren't so heavy, but the stuff with Anita, I can't talk about you guys because when I watched the episode, I cried. Then I text Really B and I told her about it. I started crying again. So I'm not gonna be able to talk about Anita because it's it reminds me of my grandmother. So I can't do
Yeah,
it.
and we said that from the beginning. I know Corey and some other people said from the beginning that this storyline was going to be very hard for them.
Mhm.
So we understand if you've ever dealt with this in your family or you have gone through this yourself, we know it's a lot. And so, with that being said, all we're going to really get into with Anita is that we found out what we ended up finding out was that Anita had a sepsis infection,
Mhm.
but she was really really sick and a lot of pain, and she was really ready to give up. She wanted to sign a do not resuscitate order at the hospital, um, because she was like she thought it was that cancer that
Mhm.
had her feeling like that, and she was like, I just can't do this anymore. But thankfully, Vernon took her to the hospital. They did run some tests and they found out it was an infection. It wasn't the chemo, it was an infection that was making her that sick. And by the end of the week, basically, Anita was back home, and she said she was feeling, she was feeling better for cancer better. Like she still wasn't feeling 100% herself, but she was back to feeling what it felt like to just have to go through
Mhm.
chemo. But it was a lot. It was a very emotional um it was a very emotional couple of days with them. We saw her talking to, of course, with Vernon and then the daughters. And I want to say this and then we'll be done with it. I like how Danny was like, you being selfish.
Yeah,
Like you
I
being
did like
selfish.
that part because
And I like how Nicole went through all the different things she had to look forward to and why she should fight. But that's it, y'all. We can't again, we're gonna respect and we're gonna move on. It was a lot of other stuff that we could get into this week. We met some new people this week. We got some new things, so we're gonna go on and jump around.
yeah. So we're gonna still stick with Monday. What I'm gonna say is Vanessa. I am so sick of Vanessa at this point, right? Because here's the thing. Vanessa keeps doing this. Oh, Deanna hasn't responded to me. Deanna hasn't called me. Deanna hasn't texted me. Deanna this. We've said this numerous times before, even before we met Deanna. If you really wanted to see your daughter, you would hop your ass on a like. There's a train, right? They said there's a train that goes up towards Banneker. Get on the fucking train, bitch. I'm sure you got a car because how you getting to Joey's place? You are so worried about Joe. You're sitting with Joey and not worried about your daughter. But then you gonna sit here and try to text her, but then you delete the text. Vanessa can miss me with that shit. And then she thought Joey was breaking up with her. You might want to. When you find out what he did to your husband, you'll probably wish he did break up with you. But
Let me tell you this, baby. You ain't been worried about them damn kids. You ain't been worried about them kids. Now all of a sudden you worried about Deanna. She ain't called. She ain't texting you. So you ain't been worried about them kids, girl. Go and sit down somewhere.
like that's my issue with Vanessa. And let's not even say, well, yeah, I guess we can say she say fuck them kids, but more so Deanna. Because at least we saw Donnell before we saw Deanna. Like you said numerous times before, with Deanna. Deanna didn't go to the funeral. Deanna didn't come home for the holidays. You ain't tried to see your child, like your child. You've been more so concerned about Joey and what Joey wants and rehabilitating Joey's image and not worried about your child. When
Mm-hmm.
your daughter asks you in front of a group of people, so you're screwing Joey, bitch, that would have been a moment I said, you know what? My daughter needs me because she out of line for this.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she don't it's like she don't give a shit about her daughter, and it's so
Oh, that's
weird.
a good point. See, Golden says she ain't worried about Deanna. She worried about Deanna liking Joey. And
I agree.
I think there's some validity to that.
I do too. I absolutely do. So that's all I got for Miss Vanessa. Now let's get
As
on.
he would say.
Yeah. So Rashad, aka Jacob, and Smitty. I'm so at this point, I'm kind of sick of them meeting up in this damn alley. Like, what the fuck? Like, so nobody and nobody else comes to this alley but these two and have secret rendezvous and meetings.
I'm sick of this whole storyline. Like I said from the beginning, this could have been a really great thing. I hate the way they did it because again, you playing my intelligence. It's nowhere in the world. Like everybody's so worried about Jacob now, but y'all thought it was a good idea for him to go undercover. Well, when I say y'all, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just the way this was done is just so unrealistic, and it just wouldn't happen this way.
The interesting thing to me this week was the fact that in Monday's episode, Smitty was so worried about, you know, something bad happening, and it did happen. That boy Max got stabbed by Ren and his people, right? And
But the thing is, he got stabbed not because they found out who he was, because he tried to walk away, and they told him. Not that makes it okay, but
yeah, he didn't get caught. He just tried to leave the organization.
right. And they was like, it's only one way out of this player.
Exactly, and that's in the body bag. So Smitty went to the hospital. I'm like, Smitty, that's not the smartest thing to do because, well, we know that Leo works we know that Leo's part of it, but I know Smitty don't know that.
Right.
But I'm thinking, but you know about Grayson, so, and we'll get to Grayson in just a little bit. But that was really honestly, when it comes to this whole operation, my only thing is everything is like very obvious, especially when it comes to Jacob. Jacob is very obvious. One, you mean Smitty and you mean Ren in the same place. So the thing that I always be wondering when Smitty and Jacob are talking, I'm like, so Ren ain't gonna come and check on you at any point? Go ahead. Like that's what my thing be. But go ahead.
And explain to me why we got to keep meeting in the elevator.
I was I was gonna bring
There's
that.
nowhere else we can do this.
I was gonna bring that up as I forgot when, but I was definitely gonna mention that. Like,
Like
why is this the only place that we meet at?
First of all, they have cameras on the elevator, so
Mhm.
anybody can run that camera back. Number two, like now that you know who Jacob is, even though he lied to you and said he was undercover, but even though we know that information, y'all can't meet up in like a lounge somewhere, like somewhere where Jacob can go in because of course people know him in the hospital, so it wouldn't be a big deal.
Mhm.
Y'all can't meet in a lounge somewhere. Y'all can't
Y'all,
meet in the parking lot. Like
y'all
it's
can't even
crazy to me.
hell. They can meet in the back alley of the hospital.
Something.
It somewhere besides the goddamn elevator, which we gonna get into that. So Tuesday, what? Actually, is right here in the notes. It says now I'm not understanding why this transfer with Jacob and Grayson is always at the hospital. I just don't get it.
Well, I'm glad that you put it in your notes because I was like, I don't get this. I don't
It's
understand.
always at the hospital. So Jacob told Grayson about Max being there, and Jacob let and also Jacob's undercover outfit in the elevator. It is I don't even know where my cap is.
Again, you put on a pair of glasses and now you Superman.
This is Jacob.
Right?
This is Jacob. This is Jacob. Do y'all know who I am? Do y'all know who I am? Can y'all
Right.
tell
Do
me
you
who
see me
I am?
now? Can you see me? But it's like back in the day when Superman Clark
Yes,
Kent, he just put on a pair of glasses and now nobody knows. Now
right.
he looks like a totally different person.
Exactly. I mean, but yeah, it's crazy that that's his outfit is a baseball cap, some glasses, and I'm a new person. So, but yeah, he told him about Max, and I thought Shanice and Ash were gonna kind of be like, Well, Shanice did, but Ashley came in with the Captain Save a whole thing, right? So Grayson went to the nurse's station to say to Shanice and Asher that a doctor wanted him to do some more labs on Max, and Shanice was like, "I just signed his discharge paper, so Why would the doctor do
Right.
something so stupid?
Right.
And Ash's like, well, maybe it was his assistant. So Grayson went to the room anyways to tell the man, like, yo, there are some people out there waiting to take you out, basically, right? And while they're talking, Ashley went in there. Ashley ain't giving. I know we ain't never gave Ashley much credit in the beginning, and we still ain't. I'm still not gonna give her credit because, girl, you didn't think that was a little bit weird how they were having a conversation. She's like, oh, I'm just coming to save you from this guy from taking more blood. Girl, he got his clothes on. He ain't got no hospital gown on. So I'm pretty sure great. But okay. So then she ended up leaving because they talked about his prescription. I was like, this is so weird of Ashley. But okay. So he left and he told him basically get out of town. And I was like, that was a weird scene to me. Like very, very weird. And that's mostly that was all of Tuesday's episode was Anita and this hospital stuff. Because
Yeah.
Smitty ended up getting Max out of town.
Right.
I was like, okay. But again, like we just said, Max got stabbed in the abdomen because Max was trying to leave the
Right.
organization.
Max was trying to roll out. Right. He was trying to lead the organization.
Max didn't get stabbed because they found out who Max is. But they still want to work with Max. I was like, why would y'all want? And Ren even told Jacob, like, the only way they get out is through a body bag. And Jacob
they told Max to begin with. Like when he was talking about leaving the first time, they were like, that's going to be dangerous. Like, that's probably not a good idea.
Like it was so weird to me. Very weird. And that was really like I said, cheap.
The sad thing is, this is a great storyline. They fumbled it because of Jacob. And again, I get it that Jacob is a main character. They're giving him a storyline. He's a police officer. Put him undercover. But the first of all, what they should have done from the beginning was, it still would have been stupid. But for the very beginning, Jacob should have been gone. Undercover, no contact.
Right.
Number two, we should never see Jacob in Orphe jeans and in Uptown. Damn sure shouldn't be seeing him in Orphe jeans in Uptown meeting with his dad, who's the fucking chief of police. Like,
you couldn't even see him at the goddamn hospital.
Right. I mean, the hospital thing is like, okay, we're trying to make it dangerous. Okay, cool. But maybe after that first time, like the first time it was like, woo. But then after that, like, why are we still doing this in the elevator? Like, it's stupid. And Ashley gets on the elevator and don't recognize Jacob either. I mean, I get it. He was like this, but it was just the way, I just feel like the way it was handled for me was so awkward that they fumbled it. But it's a really good storyline because we know that it's a bigger thing. Like, we knew they were going to loop in the clinic. We know that the chief of staff is involved. We suspect that the chief of staff and Joey are connected. So it's a good storyline to bring in a new storyline, to bring in new characters. Like, that part was great.
Yeah.
But the Jacob part of it was just was really fumbled.
Yeah.
Right. Rashad could have just been a new, like, we know Jacob need a partner. Rashad could just be his new partner. And Jacob could be the point person, and Rashad is the person really undercover. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a lot of ways they could have went with it.
It is. So the last thing that I'll talk about on Tuesday is, now y'all know how I feel when it comes to Bill Hamilton. He's not my favorite person, and I'm still not warming up to no damn Bill Hamilton. But I will say, I did like the scene with he and Danny when after he saw Anita, and he went to tell Danny that he saw Anita, and how it basically reminded him of his mom. I did like it. But again, it's Bill, so I'm not gonna give Bill too much leeway at this point. But hey, y'all tell me how I feel. But me, no.
Again, I feel the same way you feel. I feel like every time I see a scene with Bill and Danny, it just makes me cringe. Because I'm like, no, I don't want y'all. I know what y'all are doing, and I don't want us to do this. And so that's kind of where I am with it. But I agree with what you're saying though. Like, they're making Bill softer. We know the Bill we met at the beginning of the show. They're definitely making him softer. which I understand why they're making him softer. You can't. Leslie can keep being who she is, but they've got to warm up Bill just a tad bit, because we gotta have, because with the whole Haley part of it, when we realized, they're trying to garner some sympathy when it really comes out that Haley is who we thought she was, but no,
it ain't working with me. T Goody, Bill ain't warming up on me. Not over here. So here's the thing. I'm not warming up to Bill, but what I will say about Bill, I'm not warming up to him because I still have the same feelings towards Bill that I had last year. The difference between last year and now is the fact that they changed Bill, and Bill is not that asshole that we first met. So I don't hate Bill as much as I did, but I still don't see it for Bill because I'm waiting for, which we're gonna get into it in just a minute, but I'm waiting for all this shit with his wife to implode in his face, and that and how he reacts to that may determine if I warm up to Bill. But until then, I still don't see it for Bill Hamilton. So since we already did talk about Anita, I'll just bring this in because Wednesday's episode, we brought it to the conclusion where she told the family that she ripped up the DNR, and she told them that, she what was that, Wednesday? Yeah, she said actually Wednesday was when she told them she was gonna stop with the chemo, but they reeled her back in, and she said she was gonna do it. So we good on that one. Now Lynette and Haley. Why the fuck in the fuck are they in the middle of Uptown celebrating? Granted, I get they're celebrating Lynette's charges being dropped, but the way y'all are talking, it's making it look like y'all are actual homegirls with each other and not two random people who just met each other. Like, absolutely not. And then, Lynette still thinks that Haley is running a con on Bill, but Haley's like, no, I love Bill. They were talking about, the things that they've done in the past and how, they knew each other would ride or die for each other. I was like, this is bullshit on Lynette's part and on Haley's part. Like, y'all are both playing each other, but y'all are not really playing each other because y'all know each other. So yeah, Haley's up there trying to say that she loves Bill. I was like, girl, Lynette's not buying it, right? And Lynette said it without saying it. She was like, and then what's up with Randy? She was like, what do you mean what's up with Randy? She's like, girl, me and Randy, we did the do. She was like, you and my cousin? She was like, yeah. She was like, oh, I thought he would have told you that. She's like, no, he don't tell me everything. So then we see Lynette talking to Randy, asking him like, so what is your angle? And she said, if you play me like I'm stupid and I find out, that's that ass, Mr. Postman. I was like, and I got to give it to you, really, because you called Lynette from the beginning. You called Lynette. I thought Lynette might have been on the up and, I mean, I knew she was a scammer, but I didn't think she was after Haley until recently. And I'm here for
it. Right. And we're here for it. Right.
Lynette is going to be Haley's downfall. I'm here for it.
She's going to be, and that's the sad thing. She's going to be Haley's downfall. Nothing else is going to be Haley's downfall, but Lynette is going to be the one to do it.
Absolutely. But it's so funny that they would like, I'm like, y'all are both cons and y'all both trying to dissuade each other. It's like Haley's trying to make her feel like, girl, no, I done gave up my con days. I love Bill. I want to be with Bill. But y'all both know each other. So it's funny to me. And then Randy is still like, even with him. Now, I know what Randy's motive is. Randy's motive is to keep Lynette away from Haley and blowing up the spot. But I'm like, you think about us having sex with the girl is going to do it?
Well, now here's where I'm going to, you're a man, so this might offend, but men think that they can do, men really feel like they have that power in the penis. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get her strung out on the D. And she gonna be so caught up in the D, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's that ego thing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have her right where I want her. I'm gonna have her so digmatized that I'm gonna be running things when she still really is in control, and you don't even realize that she in control.
Yeah, I ain't think about it from that perspective because I don't think like that, but I get it. Maybe Randy don't even look like. Here's the thing about Randy that I'm still confused about. Didn't Randy tell us he had a family?
Listen, we'd have been down that road. I don't know what's going on with Randy in this. I don't know if it's real or if it was a story. Some people said, well, Doug, it must be real because Doug knew. But I feel like I can't believe nothing that came out of what they knew or didn't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know what to believe because I mean, since we know that they are cons, what's the truth in any of them at this point?
Right. I mean, we know that they knew each other, that him and Doug knew each other, but I mean, I don't think they was best friends. They didn't run in the same circles. They weren't. I think the only reason why Randy and Doug had kind of reconnected is because Doug was hanging out at the casino. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think Randy was coming over for Christmas dinner because Vanessa don't know him like that. So, I mean, Randy could have just easily said, I'm married with kids. I don't know. Who knows if Doug ever met these kids? I mean, I don't know.
They probably phantom kids like we thought Deanna was for a long time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, hell, he don't even know what his daughter looked like. So, I mean, who knows?
Exactly. Now, I will say there was one scene with Anita in the hospital that I did actually like because it's something that I think we've all said for quite some time now. It's the conversation she had with Ted. When she told Ted, she was like, Ted, I love the fact that, when it comes down to Eva, that you are making an effort to make up for the lost time with Eva. But at the same time, basically, don't neglect the 2 kids that you had with your wife. And I was like, ding, 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 ding. Ain't nobody said it at all. And that's what Kat has been complaining about is that you are taking up for Eva. You're going so hard for Eva, but it's like you forget about me and Martin. And absolutely, I had to think about that. I'm like, damn, we don't really see him in scenes with Kat or with Martin, like ever. It's always all about Eva. Granted, I know Eva works for him, but damn.
I see it from both sides, so I don't know. I'm gonna shut up.
No, go ahead.
I understand not neglecting, but I don't feel like Ted's neglecting. Mm-hmm. I feel like Ted's trying to make up for lost time.
Correct.
I think that Kat, and before I say this, I know how y'all feel. But I feel like it's worse. Let me not say Kat makes it worse. I feel like it's worse because Kat is not willing to share time with Ted. Mm-hmm. Whereas Martin is.
Okay. Right.
Now, taking the fact that Eva is still taking the element that we know Eva still know her mama on that bullshit, taking that element out. Mm-hmm. I think Ted is trying to make up for 20 years of what he didn't have. And yes, I get it that maybe his attention is a little bit, diverted or whatever. But I don't think he's totally let's not forget, Eva, you gave him ultimatums. You said it's either me or her, and that wasn't fair to him either.
Correct.
Martin didn't do that.
Right.
Martin we don't see him spending a lot of time with Martin either, to be fair. You're right. But I don't think it's that we don't see him spend a lot of time with Martin because he's spending time with Eva. I think I don't know if him and Martin ever really spent a lot of time together.
Okay. I like that point of view. I agree. Because I did forget that Kat told him it was either her or Eva. I forgot about that.
Right. And correct, I'm not saying Kat has to agree. I'm saying there's 2 sides to that. Like, I get what Anita is saying, and I respect it. I get it. He should not neglect one kid for the other kid. I get that. But the flip side of that is let's just take how we found out about Eva and Leslie out of the equation. Take that out of the equation. I'm not, I'm saying in general, take that out of the equation. This is a man that didn't know he had a child for 20-something years. Matter of fact, he was told the child didn't exist. Not only did that the person had an abortion.
Right.
He finds out he's got a child. He's just trying to make up for lost time.
And that part I do get. I absolutely get him trying to make up for lost time with Eva.
Not say the whole deadbeat father. Damn, y'all.
I definitely do get that. But even Now here's the thing that I will say, because he even had to say it himself. He was like, he's not good with that. Because I was like, and I had to think about it. I'm like, when is the last time you spent time with your grandkids? Again, I'm gonna put Eva to the side. The last time we saw Ted spend time with his grandkids was at either Christmas or Thanksgiving. That was months ago. Because remember when Eva went to the house and then Kat came, he spent time with them then, but that was the holiday. So we don't really see Ted spend a lot of time with them.
But
Like,
let's go back to before we found out about Eva. When did we see Ted spend a lot of time with Martin?
very little.
So I don't think it's anything different.
Yeah. It's just different when it comes to Kat more specifically. Because he
Right.
didn't even know that Kat had moved in with Vernon and Anita.
Right.
But I
But
mean,
again,
that's
I
just
think that's on
between
both
him.
sides. I think
That
I
is.
think the rift is on both sides. I mean, remember Ted tried to remember Kat wouldn't take his phone calls. Kat wouldn't like the rift is on both sides. And again, yes, Ted is the dad. Yes, Ted is the one that effed up. But the flip side is, how many times am I going to call you and you don't answer the phone call? How many
Right.
times am I going to invite you to come to dinner, come to lunch, spend time, and you tell me no or you blow me off? I mean,
I get it. I get it. But I did like that Anita had to put that she put a little bug in his ear and he listened to it, because after he walked out the room, he called up Martin. Is like, I know you're on the campaign trail and, let's spend some time together. I was like,
and again, what campaign trail? He's in DC. I don't understand why they keep acting like. You know, that bothers me. That irks me.
I know
Because
it,
they
dude.
did it again this week. They were like, yeah, Martin's been really busy on the campaign trail. Doing what?
I know it bothers you, that campaign
Doing
trail.
what? He could go to all 4 quadrants of DC in one day and still be home by 5 o'clock. What are you doing? What are we doing?
Oh shit! Let them pretend like he in Maryland.
Right. They really acted like he had a whole state and he got to go sleep overnight somewhere. You
Let them.
don't. You don't have to do it.
Maybe he is migrating from either Maryland or Virginia, one of the two. Not DC, not just DC.
That is not how that works.
I know. Maybe he hitting the whole DMV. Even though I know that's not how that worked, but because I thought about that. I'm like, really gonna have something to say about him on that campaign trail. That ain't no campaign. Oh God, that shit is funny to me.
I don't think it's weak writing. I think it's realistic. Everybody in a family isn't close. Like, I have family members that I'm cool with, and when I see them, it's cool, but we don't call each other on a regular basis. We don't hang out, and it's cool.
My family too big for that.
Yeah, so I don't think it's weak writing that everybody isn't best friends. I don't. I just think that's realistic. Remember, Martin is married with his own family and a full career. I don't think it's unrealistic that him and his dad aren't spending leisure breakfasts at the country club.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be clear. Daddy don't have a job. I mean, Daddy don't really have a real job. And Nicole is self-employed. She sets her own calendar. So, I mean, I don't know.
Now the next
thing, see Martin and Kat together that much.
We don't. We see Kat with Chelsea more, but I think that's because of an age difference too. I think there's a big age gap between Martin and Kat as opposed to Chelsea and Kat. I think Chelsea and Kat are real close in age. That's why they are like sisters and best friends.
Now, okay. Correct. What I'm saying is, I understand what you're saying, that Andre and Ted are very close. That's reasonable. Why aren't they in relationship with their first cousins? And what I'm saying is, that's not always the case. Remember, up until this show started, Andre didn't even live there. He was jet setting around the country. He would pop in here and there. He didn't live there. So this is all new that Andre is actually living there. And when he moved, it fell in love with Danny and was in a whole love triangle. All I'm saying is, I don't think it's unrealistic that Andre doesn't have a relationship with Martin. Do they look like they got a lot in common? I mean, let's be real. Like, take the show away from it. If you have an Andre in your family and you have a Martin in your family, that doesn't mean they can't be, but do they look like they real close? He lived with them at some point, but he doesn't live with them now. They're all grown.
Yeah, at some
Let me
point
tell
he
y'all something. And and listen, I hear what y'all are saying, and that's great and all. But I'm just saying, all families are not this tight woven, connected. We love each other, yes, but you ain't on my roll call every day. Hell, me and my sister grew up together, and I love her dearly. But I could go 2-3 weeks without talking to my sister, and that don't mean shit.
like same one of my cousins. We don't talk every day, but we still, we still got a relationship. Well, this is the one that I'm super close to, but and even my other one that I'm super close to, we don't
Right?
talk
I
every
have a
day.
cousin that I talk to almost every day, and I can go weeks without talking to my sister. It's just different relationships that people have within a family, and I just think this all goes back to the statement. And again, I think Anita as the grandmama, I appreciate that she had the conversation, and I don't think there's anything wrong with the conversation. I don't think she was out of line, and I think it was a valid conversation to have. All I'm saying is I see two sides to the story. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
And
nice.
I know y'all feel how y'all feel about Cat and how y'all feel about Eva. I get it. I know I'm odd man out with the Cat Eva thing. I got it. So
Yeah. So then, oh God. So it's interesting listening to Bill talk, right? After he saw Anita, so he's having a conversation with Haley of all people, telling Haley basically he's looking at his mortality. I'm like, nigga, you should have been looking at your mortality in the first place when you asked yourself to have a baby with you. But okay.
ooh, ooh, not ask this helper.
But yeah, so he told Haley, like, yeah, looking at, Danny. Now, Haley, I'm gonna get in your ass in just a few minutes because
Ooh,
I ain't shit. But you ain't never been shit.
well,
So
well, there you
Bill
go.
told her Bill told her he don't want to have a baby with her. She was like, okay. She didn't, but when he hugged her, she was so happy that she was just grinning. But then when she met with Randy, and she was like, I don't thank Danny for a lot, but with those, she called them daughters airheads, and then she talked about this gene that they got. It made Bill not want to have kids with her. I said, oh. I
Mm.
was ahead of her, and they went, and her and Randy are at the coffee shop. I was like, I really wish somebody was at that fucking coffee shop and heard her say that. I really wish that, but oh well. Lynette could be
Again, these people that ain't supposed to be friends having lunch at Orphy Jeans and child, they be getting on my nerves. I'm like, y'all ain't even supposed to know each other like that.
Next, Xavier, I'll agree. Chelsea is an airhead.
Chelsea is absolutely an airhead.
Chelsea is an airhead, but not Naomi. Not Naomi. I agree. But Chelsea, yeah, we'll give it to Chelsea. Thank God we didn't see Chelsea this week.
Ooh, she's somewhere planning that wedding, child.
Girl, let's God, that wedding. I'll be so happy if we get that wedding. I will be so happy when it comes and goes.
I don't.
I honestly don't care about the wedding, but I just want it to come and go.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if I care about the wedding, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Just let it be.
I don't even know if her Madison will last a year. Well, I mean, Helen, they ain't even made it to a year. They are coming up on a year. And they already getting married. Okay.
Listen, y'all tell me that the lesbians move fast. That's what y'all keep
They
telling
do.
me.
They do. Now, here's where my ears kind of perked up on Wednesday was with Tomas and Kat. So Tomas is telling Kat about his suspicions of Lynette.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he was the one that was handling her case. And remember, he couldn't find anything on Lynette, so that was kind of
Yep.
odd to him. He said the only thing he found one social media page, and I was like, okay. And so he's telling Kat what happened. He was like, Bill got the charges dropped, and Bill got the charges dropped because Haley asked him to do it because Lynette was there when Haley got mugged, and that raised Kat's antennas. I was like, oh shit, Inspector Cat is on the job. So now, we finna get down to the bottom of the shit with Haley. So I'm like, who is gonna be the one that's gonna get to Haley first? Is it gonna be Kat and Tomas? Or is it going to be Lynette? Like, I'm wondering. I'm wondering.
Because
Lynette, I don't think it's going to be Lynette. I think so here's the thing. What I think what's going to happen with Lynette. Lynette is going to continue. She's probably going to eventually figure out that Haley is running a con on Bill, and she's going to use Haley's ring as her leverage against Haley. She's not. I don't think she's necessarily going to rat her out. I think Tomas and Kat are going to put the context clues together.
Well, we definitely know that ring is going to come back into play somewhere. Somehow, that ring is going to be something that we know. Somewhere, somehow, that ring is coming back into play. Because well, at least I would hope they wouldn't give us that whole ring and then it never come back around.
Right. So BLOD says, do y'all think Kat and Tomas agreed to plan to uncover Haley and Lynette? You say you don't think he would risk flirting unless Kat knew. That's an interesting question.
Was he flirting?
Well, Lynette, it looked like a little bit of flirting to me with Lynette. But it also looked like a little bit of game at the same time. But it definitely did look like flirting.
Okay, I guess he was flirting then.
In his own weird Tomas way.
In his own weird Tomas way. Okay.
He was definitely flirting with her a little bit.
Okay.
With that bad acting. But he was flirting. I will say I felt like he was flirting.
Okay. Okay, they say he was definitely flirting. Okay. Well, then maybe that he was just trying to get some info, trying to,
Okay. So we move on to Thursday. We finally met Darlene, who is, what's their names again? Luke, Jacob, and Isaiah's mama. I was like,
right. We finally met the mama, child. We finally met that mama.
So she met up with Isaiah because she's heard about these wedding plans from Leslie. And Isaiah's like, Ma, me and Eva, we got Leslie to back off. I said, you got who to back off? Did you say Leslie? Would that be the same Leslie Thomas that we know? Because the Leslie Thomas that I know, she don't back off from shit. But okay, maybe
they Leslie. So naive, Lord. They so naive.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Leslie backed off. So Darlene feels like with Eva that the apple basically don't fall far from the tree. And here's the thing I will say. Do I think Eva is anything like her mama? No, I honestly don't. I think the problem with Eva is that Eva knows who her mother is, but refuses to even call out her mama in a respectful way. Because she knows who her mama is, and she tries. And what I will give Eva a little bit of credit for it is that Eva do try to tell her mama when she's right and when she's wrong, but Leslie just doesn't listen, especially in this episode.
Child, Leslie just don't give a damn.
Exactly. But I don't think Eva falls. I don't think Eva is anything like Leslie. I think she's the polar opposite of Leslie, and even Leslie had to say that.
For me, I just can't. I guess I keep going back to when Leslie put Eva out and had Eva sleeping in her car, crying and shit. I just can't get past that.
Yeah,
like, girl, your mama really had you sleeping in your car. Like, if it wasn't for the fact, like, what if Ted had turned his back on both of y'all? If it wasn't for the fact that Ted was like, oh my gosh, you're my daughter, I'm gonna get you a room. How dare your mother do that to you? Like, girl, you'd have been living in your car with no job or working at that hair salon. So I just, like, I get it. That's her mama. And yeah, they've been through a lot and yada, yada, yada. But some stuff, I just don't know if I could come back from. And I don't know if I could come back from that.
Me either. Well, speaking of Leslie, we see Peaches is back. I was like, oh, I honestly, be honest with y'all, I forgot all about Peaches. Completely forgot about that woman.
Child, I ain't forget about that wig.
I ain't either until I saw it. I was like, oh God, there go Peaches in her wig. But Peaches is back. Peaches is and she don't look as sickly and deathly as she did before because y'all
Cause
know
that that miracle cure
she in that clinical trial and it's working wonders for her.
is
I
working
said, go,
wonders, honey.
I said, go figure. I said the bitch was on her deathbed a few months ago,
Right.
but now she looking vibrant at the country club, eating caviar and all that kind of stuff, and going. Here's what I will also say about Leslie. Now Peaches ain't really saying what Leslie did to her, but she was like, and I'm like, you ain't gonna say that she slept with your man to warn Eva, especially when she was like, Leslie was like, well, you told Eva that you want her to get married. She said, girl, I told her I want to see her get married, not I don't want her to get married tomorrow. And Leslie like, when you see that her boyfriend, you're gonna see why. I said, Leslie, boundaries, like the way you
Well,
talk
we
about
know she don't have none.
exactly, but the way you talking about Eva's boyfriend, and if I was Eva, I'd be like, Mama, like why do you talk about him? Like,
Mama, but she does. She has said it before, like Mama.
but it's
But
the way
I don't. But again, I
how
don't think
fine
she
he
knows
is.
that story for to take it seriously. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure
Mhm.
that it's no that she would think that her mother would actually sleep with her man. You know.
It's just the way she talks about how fine he is. And then what caught me with Peaches was, and let's like, this is my man, my man, my man. It's like, oh, I see why you want him as your son-in-law. I was like, wait, huh? That's still weird to hear. Like, I I know Peaches probably didn't mean any harm by it, and I know Peaches was probably saying, "Oh, he looks good, Eva looks good," so they would probably have some because the people love to say when two people get together and they definitely both cute, y'all gonna have some pretty babies. I know
Mm-hmm.
I know that's probably where she was going towards, but knowing how Leslie is, it was like, no, I still don't like you saying that. Peach is saying, why she, I just like that still don't sound right to me. But hey, it could just be me. I doubt it
No,
is.
well, I told you, listen, I've been stuck there ever since she asked him, was he good in bed? And I was like, what?
Hmm.
So, I've been stuck there. I've been stuck ever since that point. I was like, why are we asking about whether this man is good in bed or not? Why are we having that conversation?
I'm so confused by that as well. Oh, something else that I forgot to mention. I forgot what day it happened, but we saw as both Danny and Nicole were at the country club, right? And Danny told Nicole about Bill coming over. And Nicole was like, do you think Bill is telling you all this stuff because basically Bill missed that whole thing and he want to get back with you? I think Danny likes the idea of that. And she's trying to talk herself into, oh, I love Andre so much that I don't care about that. And then they also talked about the whole Nicole with Carlton and with Kyle. And this week, she did say that, on paper, based, and this is me paraphrase, but on paper, Carlton is, they like that they have the same likes and all that kind of stuff. So she does see something with Carlton, but I really think she sees something with Kyle.
I think she likes Kyle better.
Hmm. I think it's Kyle that she likes more.
Because even when she asked him, even when Danny asked her, like you said, when she said Kyle, she was like, just the way she answered the question took it to
Mhm.
another level.
It did. I think with Carlton is just it's a thing of being familiar with him, which is still weird to
And
me.
and there's a part of me that wonders if they're going to make color a conversation.
Hmm.
Like, are you scared to choose Kyle because Carlton is easier? Carlton is more expected. Carlton is the comfortable choice because of the color. That
Okay,
would be an interesting conversation on the other side.
it would. I would actually be here for that. Now, let's get back to Leslie real quick. Leslie is we've all known Leslie's delusional, but this week her delusion knew no bounds. So Leslie saw Vernon at the country club, and she's like, "Hold on, just a second. I'll be right back." Went to go chastise Vernon about this house and the fact that they put a halt to it. Mind you, he told her, "Yeah, I saw the statue of Idris Elba, and who else is it that she got? She got
Just gaudy and just gaudy.
yes." And she's basically telling Vernon she wants him to, help her with her, her house and just call it off. I'm like, girl, if it's in the bylaws that you are over an inch, thank you. Morris Chestnut and Shamar Moore.
Child.
Who the fuck erected them statues? And why? So and this will lead into Friday's episode, but Leslie is delusional because she's sitting there talking because Vernon went off on her and let her have it. And she's like, how would your father feel about this? He was like, oh, my father would be okay with it. He'd be okay.
Right. I couldn't believe she tried to bring his father. Girl, you don't even know his daddy. Like, what are you talking about?
Like,
you don't even know him.
Yeah, he was like, my dad would be okay with this. And then she's like, and you came for me. I was like, Leslie, you came for him.
She loved, baby, the way she be trying to flip into victim mode, baby.
Like, you came for him, not the other way around. And when he read you, you felt the way. And I was like, oh, well. Like, yes, I agree with you, Miss Baythang. Play the Lulu by Juicidora. What the hell? You must be delusional, Leslie, which we know you are, right? So then also we see that Bill and Ted took the advice of Anita. Well, actually, she didn't even give Bill any advice, but I guess Bill must have got that advice, telepathically, because we saw him at the country club with Naomi, and we saw Ted with Kat. They both took accountability that there's communication issues, which ReallyB said earlier, that there's communication issues on both sides from Kat and from him. And I was like, that's nice. And that's all I got for that. But Leslie's delusional.
Delulu. But it was so funny because I was waiting for her to cuss him out or something. And when she tried to come with the please, and I'm like, but you didn't care about flaunting that in their face. You didn't care about, let's start with the fact that everything you went through to buy that damn house. Like, let's not even start. Girl, bye. Don't act like they're being the big bad willies. Big bad wolf at this point.
Yeah. And even when they told her that Anita was sick, she still didn't give a damn. She said, what I told them is, to minimize their hours, that was they had to say something to you. She's like, you didn't even ask me. You didn't even really ask me. You told me. Bitch, the woman has got cancer. Who the fuck wants to hear that? Like, who wants to hear all that construction?
Okay.
Beep, beep, beep. Like, who wants to hear that? And I'm going through chemo. Leslie, what really blew me with Leslie on Friday was when that woman said, I built this this whatever she put at the country club, this clinic, all because I want to be a pillar of the community. I said, girl, what? A pillar of what community?
Sure. You have been antagonist, and because remember, if y'all go back, I always thought that there was something deeper with Leslie and Nicole because her focus was always on Nicole, and I was like, what have the Duprees done to this woman? But now we, fast forward a year, the Duprees ain't did nothing to that woman.
It was Ted and Bill.
And you, by proxy, you're mad at them because you can't be mad at Ted because you're still in love with Ted and you still want Ted.
Cheap, yes. So she Leslie tore the whole house down, and she's rebuilding it. So that's why so much construction.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she tore the house down.
She tore every whole house down.
She's building a moat and just crazy shit.
Ghetto-ness. And like Brennan said, it's an eyesore and I'm sure there has to be an HOA. Like the HOA can't be going for this. Where's the HOA?
Well, remember they tried to go through the HOA and they tried to go through the HOA and the HOA was like, there's nothing we can do. She did everything by the book. And I guess on paper, her plans didn't violate, I guess.
But
I don't know.
I know with an HOA, your house has to look a certain way.
Not Xavier say he want a moat too. Child, bye.
Like your house has to meet certain, there are certain things you can't do in an HOA.
Baby, in my neighborhood, our front door has to match our shutters.
I about to say, I know you. I about to say some of them.
Like something as petty as that. Like
I about
the
to say
shutters
some
on my house are
HOAs.
red, so my door has to be red.
I'm about to say some HOAs are super petty with like someone like even a floor mat on your outside. There'll be someone be
Yeah, some HOAs are ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous.
But I mean, good luck to you, Leslie. So with Anita, we already talked about the fact that she had an infection. So when she got home, we saw Sharon and her wig return. I was like, oh, so we get Sharon. I was like, okay.
Not Sharon her wig.
I ain't have a problem with Sharon because since Sharon has lost that attitude, I actually like Sharon a little bit more.
I like Sharon too, but is it me? Or did it seem like that scene was really awkward? The acting was off with Anita and Sharon in that first scene. It was weird.
I think it's because it caught Anita off guard because she wasn't expecting Sharon. If that makes sense. Because remember, she said because we know she called someone to come over to the house.
Yeah.
And then Sharon came and she's like, oh, I wasn't expecting you. I was expecting, I called someone else to come over. And so they talked for a little bit. And Sharon's like, well, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to go through your closet.
Okay. But it just seemed like the chemistry between the two of them was just a little funky. I don't know. It just could have been a weird. I mean, and again, we know both of them can act. We've seen them act. So I'm not saying that they can't. But it just seemed, I don't know, it was just weird. Sharon's, the inflection in the way she was delivering her lines was just weird.
Okay.
But it was, I mean, but again, nothing major. It just seemed a little weird. But I do like Sharon.
I do too. I'm starting to like Sharon. Because again, like I said, since Sharon has changed her attitude towards Anita, we cool with her. So we found out that Anita actually called Bill over to the house because she wants to amend the will and trust. And I was like, interesting. And I was like, I was thinking to myself, I was like, what is Anita going to put in here that she didn't want Vernon there, but she wanted Bill there? And I was like, that's very interesting. Because I was thinking that she was going to take some things out and do some switcheroo with the whole Bill. I was like, Anita, girl, what you finna do? So
I thought she was going to do something crazy, but Bill was like, you didn't really make a lot of changes.
Exactly. So then we get to Friday, and so we found out that she, he's like, yeah, you didn't make a lot of changes to the, so we're fine. But she was like, that's not all, Bill. But when this is where she kind of threw me for a loop. She said that she wanted him to be the co-executor because Vernon is already the executor of her estate, and she wants Bill to be the co-executor. And they have some trust together. She also wants him to be co-trustee. But she said, I'm not going to make this, finite until I have a conversation with Vernon, and Vernon is okay with it. And Bill was like, it's going to be a hard pill for, Vernon. Now, surprisingly enough, she had the conversation with Vernon. She's like, then there are some things that, I'm going to wait till a later date to tell you about. But as of right now, I do want to have a discussion with you, and I'm not going to move forward until I have your okay. And she's like, I want for Bill to be co-executor and trustee. She's like, because when I'm gone, I want you to just, have, only focus on getting our kids and our grandkids through this. And he was like, honestly, I'm okay with it, and I agree with you. And I was like, the hell? A year ago, it's funny how, like, I know people always say, with life where you are today, you probably won't be there in a year from now, right? And it's so funny because a year ago in March, we all hated Bill.
Persona non grata.
They hated Bill too. So it's so interesting to see how they've come this far. Now, granted, last year they were still going to Bill when they needed help with things, but it was like by the skin of their teeth to do it. But now,
but now Anita's explanation, I understand. She said, "Listen, because he's only co-executor. It's not like he has full control." And I understood. She said, "Listen, you are going to be like." I guess she was like, after seeing how your ass acted these last couple of days with the do not resuscitate, and you're not doing what I'm asking you to do or not, I don't know if I can trust you. And when you're dealing with your grief and your heartbreak, I need somebody that's going to keep the train moving. I need somebody that's, yes, they're going to mourn me, but they're going to be able to keep the business. I don't know. That's I don't know.
But I did like it though. I thought it was when I sat back and thought about it, I'm like, you know what, Anita is making a lot of sense with this because Vernon will be, dealing with grief.
Child, you know Vernon ain't gonna be no damn good.
Exactly. So why not give it to Bill? So I was like, okay, cool.
I'm about to time. You got a mod in here? Time out, Cajun.
Cajun definitely
talking about the humpback wig. I'm about to time his ass out.
Look, it wasn't even that one. It's the fact of him saying, what did he say? It was about his review. He said, how the fuck y'all do my review with no notice while I'm out at a party? Sir, Cajun, what have I told you plenty of times about your review? If you want a review, flip your camera on and talk about Beyond the Gates. The same way we do. This ain't your review. It's our review. But okay, moving on. Away from the resident troll.
Why do y'all always come after? Because you literally dropped down and started talking shit.
Exactly.
Why you can't just come sit down, cross your legs, and enjoy the motherfucking show?
Exactly. He always come with the bullshit.
Okay.
And then you come back at him with it, which I am so glad that y'all annoyed the hell out of his ass during their verses.
Oh yeah.
That gives me pleasure and delight to know that you were annoyed. Oh, that makes me feel so good. That makes me feel so good to know that he was annoyed by that.
Yes.
So then we move on. I want to talk about Isaiah real quick because I thought Isaiah was full of shit in this episode. So Isaiah called up Naomi and asked her, hey, so I know Jacob gave you a burner phone. Can Ma use it? Nigga, no. This is he gave it to me and I was with Naomi. If Jacob wanted to talk to you, your mama, your daddy, and Luke, he would have told y'all how to contact him. He would have gave y'all the same means that he gave to me. And also, we know he's undercover. So why would I have you call my husband who's undercover and potentially blow his cover?
And it again, this is a law enforcement family. Like your mama even said, well, when your dad, he won't even tell me. Right, exactly. He won't even tell you. Like this whole thing is so unrealistic to me. When Jacob became a detective, it never occurred to y'all that Jacob would be doing something dangerous. Hell, he was a cop before he was a detective. Like y'all are acting like he just graduated from the academy. Mm-hmm. It's so ridiculous to me.
It was weird to me. But
this whole Jacob thing, I really hate the way they're making it, the way they're writing this storyline. Like, I understand being worried about him, but come on.
But I'm glad his mama said, I agree with Naomi. Like, why would you call her and ask her that? If Jacob gave her the phone, then that's who he means to talk to.
Right.
And then we have Jacob and fucking Smitty meeting in the back of that alley. And I was like, my God, this alley's getting on my damn nerves. And they getting on my nerves. Y'all in these outfits that are very obvious to everybody, but okay. Especially you, Smitty. You stick out like a sore thumb. You just being your white boy that's just that thinks he's black. And I know I'm not saying that that's what Smitty is, but that's just how he's dressing. It's like, why are you dressing like this? Because you would in no other day would you dress like this. But okay, whatever. So we saw Grayson. So Grayson was having a conversation with Ashley, basically telling Ashley that he don't want to hurt her because Jacob had a conversation with him about, did you talk to Ashley? Did you tell Ashley, did you break up with her? I'm like, Jacob, you're doing the most. That ain't got nothing to do with you. I get you want to protect Ashley, but she's a big girl. Not Jacob, but Derek even warned her and she didn't listen. So when the egg is on her face, it's on her face. Now, Naomi, I have a problem with you too. I kind of got where she was coming from when she was talking to Ashley. I forgot what day it was, but Ashley was like, your grandmother went home And why don't you tell your family? I was like, exact shock, but I don't want to do it because Jacob's not here. I'm over Naomi. I'm sick of her. And that black.
Well, to be fair, you've been sick of Naomi, so at this point, I don't think there's a whole lot Naomi can do. You've been sick of Naomi, so.
And I get, here's the thing, like, I was with Ashley, like, girl, you put me in an uncomfortable position. Like, you got me lying.
Got me lying to your family and shit.
Like, girl, no. So.
And we're not going to use Jacob. You had plenty of time before Jacob disappeared to tell him. You didn't want to tell him.
Exactly. Oh, and I also did leave out. So I think it was earlier in the week when Jacob. So Jacob thinks he's working Grayson because Jacob asked Grayson, like, do you have a contact that you meet with at the hospital? Because you've been doing it for a year at this point. So you don't know nobody. And Grayson lied to him and told him, no, he don't have a contact. I was like, oh, okay. So we pretending like Leah ain't the contact, huh? And I want to know if anybody caught this, because Ashley said that Leah wasn't always a bitch.
Yep. She said she used to, when she first got hired, she was actually really nice and used to, so what has happened in the last year in Leah's life?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe somebody's leaning on her. Maybe she's not the big boss.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, I'm now starting to question, is Leah actually the big boss? Because for Ashley to say Leah hasn't always been a bitch, that she was nice to them and laughed and joked with them, I was like, well, where is that bitch at? Because that lady that we've been meeting is an asshole. And I don't like her. Speaking of Leah, she went to go, now we called this one that they were going to try to use the clinic, because she was like, she wants Grayson to volunteer at the clinic, and she wants him to volunteer at the clinic so he can learn the ins and outs. He was like, girl, Derek don't like me, and how am I supposed to do that? And I was thinking the same thing, because she's like, but it's a lot of volunteers over there. I was like, man, volunteers are still, it's a clinic. So yes, there are volunteers, but there's still doctors and nurses and professional people that still will keep up with. And you're talking about blood, lady. You don't think that these people are gonna still keep up with some? I mean, granted, I know you're probably thinking about Leslie not knowing the ins and outs, but she hired people who know the ins and outs. But okay.
Ted is not coming back. Will y'all stop? His character is still on the show. They're not going to bring that same actor back as a different character. That's crazy.
They could, but I don't see it.
I mean, listen, they better not. That would piss me off, because I'd be like, so I'm supposed to just forget that he was Ted for 4 months?
Because I mean, they've done it on GH with the girl that originally played Carly. She came back as another character.
She did.
Yeah, she came back as a mob princess, Claudia Zakara.
Oh. I mean, they could, but I hope they don't. Let me just say that.
I do too.
Days of Our Lives does it all the time. Okay, well, listen. I just hope they don't. I don't want that for me.
Yeah, that's right. Tamara Braun also played Ava on GH. So yeah, they've done it. I just don't want them to do it, because at this point, I don't see it for that man like that. That's just me personally. Plus, ain't he uber Christian at this point? Well, actually, not ain't he at this point? He's uber Christian since he's so I don't see him doing that. But whatever.
Well, he played Ted. That was my whole thing before, when he said that he couldn't play a gay character. I'm like, but you could play someone that cheated on his wife. You could play somebody that had a baby out of wedlock. Like, but you can't play a gay character. Boy, bye.
Exactly.
That lets you know it's not about your faith; it's about your homophobia. But moving right along.
Yeah. So moving on to Miss Haley. So this is where Lynette and Tomas were flirting with each other, and Haley overheard it. So I love the fact that Tomas kind of read Haley, and he was like, "But you did it, you know, and you weren't even married to me. You just did, you know, you were."
Baby, when he said that, I said, "Oh, oh."
You were flirting with the boss before you were even married to him, and you were just a paralegal. I was like, "Oh, come on, Tomas. Normally, I don't see it for you, but when you said that about
Baby, I said,
I had to laugh." But Tomas ended up leaving, and so Haley's like, you know, we can't let him because they finally figured out that he's playing Lynette to get information on Haley. And she's like, and we can't let that happen. I was like, girl, you're in Bill's office. And who walks in but Bill?
Bill.
And Bill bought Haley's dumbass story. She was like, oh, you know, I'm just telling Lynette that, you know, she can't be running up the bill at the hotel. I said, huh?
Why is Lynette still at the hotel?
I said, huh? And then
that should have been the question Bill was asking. Why is she still at the damn hotel?
And he bought it. And so Lynette left. And then Haley decided that she wanted to throw Tomas under the bus. Talking about, well, he's still with your niece, isn't he? Because he was really flirting with Lynette. I said, oh my God.
Right. You didn't get yelled at, Cajun. You're not the only person that has said that. I'm just like, ugh.
But yet, I'm like, Haley, you're going to make more enemies than you need to. Because if Tomas is already onto you, why would you, if you feel like he's already onto you, why would you throw him?
And let's not forget, at the end of the day, you're not going to get Tomas fired because we know why Tomas got that promotion. You don't know why Tomas got that promotion because Tomas saw Bill kissing Danny up in his office.
Mm-hmm.
And don't think that Tomas is above throwing that in Bill's face like, oh, well. I'm just saying.
So I was like, Haley, I don't think that that's smart. And that's why I'm wondering now if we're getting to the end of this whole Haley saga. Because
I definitely think they're definitely speeding it up.
So that's why I was wondering. I'm like, are we getting to the end of this damn saga? Because I'm with you now. It's like, I don't know if they jumped the gun when they showed us who Haley really is, because it's been months now since we found out who Haley is, and nothing has happened since.
I don't know if they jumped. I don't know if they jumped the gun as much as maybe they thought they were ready, and maybe they weren't ready to end that storyline. Like, I don't know, because it was weird. Again, it just went down a weird path with the tea, which we ain't seen him drink no tea since he went to the hospital. We still don't know whatever came back. They was taking blood, but now we ain't heard nothing about the blood. It's like, it's almost like it's an afterthought of a storyline.
Yeah, I just don't know where they're going with that. I don't know, because I get now introducing the whole Lynette of it all. The Lynette is a wrench in Haley's plans.
And right, I almost wish they had never given us the tea and just went straight to Lynette. Because I'm cool with the Lynette part of this. That's moving faster. That's giving me more meat than that damn tea shit. You want to kill them off with some tea like they weren't going to trace the tea back. Like,
so yeah, I can get behind the Lynette of it all. I love the Lynette storyline. I think it's a great storyline because Haley thinks that she's playing Lynette, but Lynette is like, girl, I ain't buying this shit. Because remember, Lynette hinted at sleeping with Bill.
Right.
And I think that was a test. To Haley, but you know, we'll see. And we already talked about this, but the last thing that we had in this episode on Friday was Ashley's dim-witted ass getting on the elevator with Grayson and Jacob and saying nothing. I'm like, girl, you know that that's Jacob. You know that's Jacob. Them glasses ain't hiding shit. This ain't Clark Kent.
Right. I mean, but even his affect, even the way he was standing, even his stature, like at the very least, she should have done a double take.
She should have done a double take when she saw that bag on the floor. Like, why is that bag on the floor? Because my nosy ass would have asked that question. The fuck is a bag? Jacob, nigga, is that you? I know she can't say nigga, but I would have been like, I know she can't say nigga, but I would have gotten to say, hey, Grayson, wait a minute. Why is there a bag on the floor?
Right. That's what I'm saying. At the very least, you should have done a double take. Because it's like if you get on the elevator and it's somebody that is Scotty's complexion, Scotty's size, Scotty's build, you would at the very least do a double take.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, oh, he looked like a friend of mine. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Wait a minute, nigga, is that you? What you doing back
Right.
there?
What you doing that? What you doing in Dallas? Like.
Yeah, but it's Ashley, so what can we really expect, right? But that was Beyond the Gates this week, guys. It was a aside from the Anita stuff, it was a really good week. I enjoyed this week, but that Anita shit just took me out. And mind you, guys, I watched all the episodes today. So
so you got it all at one time. You didn't even spread it out. Yeah.
I got it all in one fucking
so I definitely can understand how it just was a lot. Yeah.
I got it all. Because I woke up this morning because I think I told you my car was messing up last week. So I found out what it was. I needed to get a valve gasket cover for my engine. Went and got that and went and got it put on there. And I was at the shop watching it. And I just started boo-hoo crying. I was like, oh, fuck. I'm like, how am I going to get through these episodes? But I got to them. And it was, again, like I said, it was, aside from the Anita stuff, and what I will say, kudos to Tamara.
She's playing the hell out of this storyline.
She did a phenomenal job. I will give her that. And shout out to all of them because they all did really good because those were believable scenes. Nicole, when she was like, Mom, I never agreed to you giving up.
Right. I didn't agree to that. Don't do that. Don't put me in that. Mm-mm.
And Clifton, spot on, did an amazing job. So shout out to everybody. They did really good. It was a really good week. I enjoyed it. Next week looked like it's gonna be we finally getting that double date with Carlton, Nicole, and Vanessa and Joey. I don't know if I necessarily care about it, but hey, what I am looking forward to.
What up, Nay?
What I am looking forward to. Oh, hey, that's your niece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I am looking forward to is Lynette telling Haley, girl, baby, basically, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. So that's all I got. So what you got coming up for the rest of the weekend? Are you caught up on Beverly Hills?
Girl, no. Not girl, but no. So I'm on spring break. So I'm going to catch up this week on Beverly Hills. I'm going to catch up this week on Ladies of London. The Real Housewives of Rhode Island debuts this week, so we'll be doing that. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, since I don't have to go to work on Monday, I will be doing Married to Medicine live tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. Tonight, we got, and I know I have to get y'all Bell Collective. I have to get y'all Love and Marriage Huntsville. But I'm out all day tomorrow, so you'll get Married to Medicine tomorrow, but I can't promise y'all much of anything else. But this week, I'm gonna definitely get caught up on everything this week, child.
Are y'all saying
I have watched like 3 of the Ladies of London episode. I just have to do the reviews. It's really good. Are you watching it? It's really good.
I never even watched the original.
I didn't watch the original either. I didn't. That's why, like, when the Real Housewives of Dubai came out and everybody was like Carolyn Stansbury, I didn't know that lady.
I didn't either. I knew. I had heard of her because I had heard of Ladies in London, but I just never watched it. But I've been hearing everybody say that Ladies in London is really good. So
it's really good, and I got a lot to say. So at first, I was going to just do I was going to try to do uploads one episode at a time, but I think I'm just going to do I've watched the first 3. So I think I'm going to do one live with the first 3 episodes, and then I'll do the next live. I'll just catch it up. So, but it'll be, y'all, we're going to get caught up this week. I'm going to get caught up on Beverly Hills because hell, it'll be the reunion soon.
It is. What I thought was funny was, did you see that Andy got pissed off because Sarah Michelle Gellar said that
it's boring? Yeah, but it is. He really got mad too.
He was mad. I was like, Andy, she's not the only person that said that.
And she has a right to her opinion. If she thinks it's boring, she thinks it's boring.
And here's the thing with Andy, nigga, when you ask for the questions for the reunion,
Everybody told you.
your mentions were full of what are we talking about? This season is boring. It should be a one-part reunion. Y'all shouldn't even have a reunion. I saw so many people saying it should be a one-part reunion. It shouldn't be a reunion. What we talking about? This season is boring. But you get mad when Sarah Michelle Gellar says it.
Right.
Like, I've heard everybody say it's boring.
What he should have done was invited her to the clubhouse so they could talk about it.
Mm-hmm. He probably eventually will.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't understand why he got so mad. But okay. So what I got coming up this week? So I have a few more shows coming now this week because y'all know this. Excuse me. I think tomorrow's the season finale of Baddies.
Oh, she was on Watch What Happens Live when this week because I missed it.
I did too. That might have been
good. Then they were able to kiss and make up. Good.
Because it might have, but I just didn't understand why he was so mad because the fans have even been talking about how bad Beverly Hills is. I've heard fans say Beverly Hills should have been put on pause instead of Miami. But hey, who are we? Who are we? Now they are saying that Miami is not necessarily gone away. I feel like they put it on pause, like what they did with Jersey and Atlanta and Rome.
But why?
Honestly,
I don't think they have a good reason to put it on pause.
I think they do. They don't want to look at what is the makeup of that cast.
Oh, they don't want to deal with the Latino community.
They don't want to talk about. I don't feel like they want to really discuss the issues with the Latinos and.
But they never do. They never talk politics on these shows. Very, very seldom does Housewives do politics. Very seldom.
But I don't see how they can get away with it, especially with them
being. Well, first of all, I mean, if we're gonna be honest about it, and I don't know this to be a fact, y'all. This is just my opinion. But Alexia and Marisol are probably MAGA.
Absolutely. I absolutely believe that.
I think it was a variety of things. I think the things that Martina Navratilova said didn't sit well with Andy. Alexia. I think the way last season went with Gertie and Julia was bad. I think Adriana and her bullshit. I just think it was a variety of things. Yeah. And I think they probably just wanted to put enough time in between so that maybe they could recast without people getting pissed off.
I've heard that too. I've heard that too. I think that they want to recast Miami. We'll see. But I don't think it's gone away for good. I think they're gonna do the Roni, which that is what they should have just said fuck and scrapped it. Because now you're doing a reboot of a reboot. But neither here nor there. So yeah, we got Baddies, like I said, I think that's the finale tomorrow. So if it is, thank God. Married to Medicine, I will be doing part 2 of the reunion on Monday. Then y'all know that Real Housewives of Rhode Island premieres on Thursday. So we'll probably, depending on what time, I know it's a late episode because I know that they're coming on after Beverly Hills go off. And for me, that's 9:00. So it wouldn't end until 10. And I think it's a supersized episode.
Yeah, y'all will probably get a live review from me Thursday night, but don't expect that regularly because if it's going to come on at 10:00, y'all know when I go back to work, I ain't doing it 10:00.
Well, it's actually, so it'll premiere on Thursday this week, but next week it's moving. It'll follow Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Right.
So it's not going to be, so Rhode Island will be alive for me, but Atlanta's coming first. I don't hate to say it. I love to say that.
We don't hate to say it.
It's gonna be first. So Atlanta, and I'm gonna do something different this season, you guys, with Atlanta. I'm still gonna do lives, but to get my video what I'm thinking about doing is going back to what I used to do is pre-recorded have it up like Ashley used to do right after the episode, sometime after the episode go off. So you guys will get the pre-recorded review the night of the episode airing, and then the next day we can go live and if y'all
talk about it. Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
So that's what we'll do. Because I'm ready for Atlanta. I know some of y'all, I don't know about y'all in our chat, how y'all feel about Atlanta, but I know for me, I'm excited for Atlanta. I think this is gonna be a good, last season was good to me. And I think this season will be good. This may be an unpopular opinion, because I know a lot of people don't like this person, but I wish that she didn't do what she did. by not coming to the reunion and suing Bravo. I think Britt Eady could have been a good villain for Real Housewives of Atlanta if she didn't do those things by skipping out on the reunion and now suing Bravo.
I
I
just
think
didn't want to sit through another season of this because I could not stand how she talks through her nose from too many nose jobs.
I'll give you that. I couldn't stand the way Britt Eady talked, but I think Britt Eady could have been a really good villain. She had the makings of a good villain, especially when she fell out with Kelly. But in other news, y'all, and I'm gonna say it right here, right now. So before y'all even come into my comments of Real Housewives of Atlanta, much like Scotty, I'm standing K Michelle. Now, will I call out K Michelle if she's wrong? Absolutely. But
I think K Michelle is going to be such a great addition to this show. I really do.
I am so excited for K Michelle. I am so, and it's what I will say about K Michelle thus far. I'm loving the shade with her and Drew. It's lighthearted. It's not dark. It's just funny shade. Because when she was on Sherry Shepherd's show, I cracked up laughing. Now Sherry put a little bit too much on it, but I did laugh at her when she was like, Drew would want it to be about the music, but it's not about the music. I said, no, okay. But yeah, so that's what we got next week. Going into next week, it'll be Baddies tomorrow or sometime on Monday, and Married to Medicine. Thank God they gave them 2 parts for a reunion. That's all I could do with them. And also, y'all, I do love Drew. I like Drew, but I will call Drew out too. But yeah, I'm so it's Baddies, Married to Medicine, Real Housewives of Rhode Island, and then next Sunday, Real Housewives of Atlanta. So excited for it. But that's all we got. So
we got a lot going on, y'all. Keep your notifications on.
Yeah, so we out of here, y'all. So y'all know next week we'll be back over with ReallyB. And I saw some of y'all say that y'all like an afternoon live. I don't know if that's gonna be a good thing that I can do because I do things in the afternoon. I just happen to be I just happen to be free today.
It happened to line up this week, this year.
So
I mean this week. I said this year, Lord. This week.
I don't know if it'll be a thing, but we'll play it by ear. If it's up to it'll be up to our schedules if we do morning, afternoon, but it just happened to line up today that we did it in the afternoon. But yeah, that's all we got, you guys. So we're gonna get off of here and we'll see y'all in the next one.